Church, if you keep looking like that, I'm not going to bring you on stream.
The weirdest part of that mask is the fact that when you laugh, the mouth moves. like the cheekbones rise as you actually laugh. It's very creepy. I told Harper, like, we're not getting that one for you. Because I thought that's where you got that from. That's funny.
Yeah, it is. That's actually what got me to the site. It popped up in a Facebook ad.
Creepy mask.
Yes.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Good morning, everybody.
I want to punch my screen.
Why do you want to punch your... Because of him?
Church. I really want to just hit him. He looks evil.
Well...
So, episode 157, I'm Cav, that's Nick.
What's up?
Hannah's here.
Hi.
And I guess Church is here. So,
a version of Church is here.
A version of Church.
We don't know what version of Church, though.
It's true.
It's a multiverse.
Versions of Church.
Hey, you could be Earth X Church. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm Thomas Wayne Church.
Awesome.
You're the Church.
Flashpoint Church.
You're a Flashpoint Church. I mean, I think normally we kind of small talk for a little bit first, but that's a perfect segue into the first article. Big news coming out, which is Michael Keaton has been confirmed coming to the new Flash movie, which is supposed to be based on Flashpoint. Now, whether that changes, because we don't even know if Ezra Miller is going to be Flash by the time this thing starts. Basically, what people are saying now is not only is Michael Keaton going to be back as Batman, but he is also going to play a Nick Fury type role in the DC universe.
So he's going to fight a Flurkin?
He's going to fight a Flurkin.
What is the DC version of a Flurkin?
That's true. It's got to be something in Dark Knight's Metal. Has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean... I don't know. I mean...
Do Flurkin? I feel like they would just all out... There's no cute cat part. It's just... You already know it's evil. Like, they don't know how to do cute, maybe.
That's true.
I think that was one of the most well-played parts of Captain Marvel was the Flurkin. You know what I mean? I feel like that was the most well-played, one of the most well-played parts for sure. So what would that be for Batman? I don't even know.
I feel like they came up with the idea of Mother Flurkin.
Mother Flurkin.
That could totally be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Nick, yeah, we gotta do that.
Like that Rocket knew automatically that the cat was a Flurkin.
That's a Flurkin. I mean, yeah, Lynn's got a point. I mean, Ace the Bat Dog, but he's not evil. He's Ace the Bat Dog. So they do pet. BC does pets well.
They do.
Speaking of pets, there he is. There's Milo asleep in his bed.
Oh,
Milo, I need you to come train Hershey. He's out of control.
So with him coming, with Michael Keaton coming back and playing that Bruce Wayne role, the question now becomes, in a Batman Beyond universe where you have the older Bruce Wayne, do we finally get a Batman Beyond? And if we get something like that, it was comicbook.com put up an article. Is it Terry McGinnis or is it Damian Wayne that is the new Batman? This is very interesting because outside of Batman Beyond, like nobody knows Terry McGinnis. Like he's not really part of the through line, I guess you'd say. And Damian Wayne has been around Teen Titans. Like there's a lot of Batman lore with Damian Wayne.
But with Damian, I feel like you can use him elsewhere because of that.
Yeah, I would agree. Because really kind of two Damian Waynes. There's the little punk kid Damian Wayne, who has died and been resurrected. There's a slightly more mature sort of Super Sons Damian Wayne who's still a little whatever. Terry McGinnis has always been, you could call him like punky or whatever in Batman Beyond, but not to the Damian Wayne level, like where he's a plague on society.
He's just more of a smart aleck, I feel like, Terry.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, Damian Wayne is just a jerk. Now, to Damian Wayne's defense, when you're raised by the League of Assassins, like empathy and sympathy and things like that are not part of your upbringing.
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
that is a fair point.
You learn to, you learn to kill. So it could be very interesting to see where they get with that. Like, I feel like this is DC's with Michael Keaton. This is DC's best opportunity to right the ship, as it were. Like, he could really be kind of the cornerstone of everything, and they can use Flashpoint to get rid of all the crap that was terrible and reset everything. And he shows up like that, and then maybe we get a real, like, really well thought out Justice League at some point. But maybe not with traditional Batman, but maybe with somebody like Dick Grayson or someone like Nightwing or whatever being part of Justice League, because Batman is old and cranky unless he has, one of his mini bat suits.
But I don't think they're going to do that.
I mean, that's the thing.
I think they're going to do another Batman origin story.
I hope not.
I would like that.
We need one of those.
But I
don't even know where he comes from.
I really don't know what happened to him.
Already saying that they're going to start like their own universe and stuff, then it's just going to get crazier and weirder.
It's
I mean, like, more complicated with just more stuff being added to it.
Yeah, I mean the Snyderverse and things like that are I really think also when that gets released, the Snyder Justice League, the reaction to that is going to kind of steer the ship a little bit. I think that could be very interesting. But I think I'm just excited Michael Keaton's going to be back. I mean, I think from a old cranky Bruce Wayne, kind of teaching that thing. There's a movie he was in, American Assassin, not the greatest movie, but based on a really, really good set of books by Vince Flynn, the Mitch Rapp series. American Assassin is kind of the origin story in that world. And Michael Keaton plays this older mentor, whatever, kind of tough as nails, things like that. Guy, and played it really well. So when I watched that movie and saw that, I was like, man, that is such a good, like, older Bruce Wayne.
Is that excuse me, because I think I've seen that. Is that the one where he's like held up in a cabin and the other actor is at a resort and like a cartel attacks or whatever? Is that?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah. Great movie for sure. The books sound really good.
The books are, and this is the Mitch Rapp series. So Vince Flynn wrote several. There's one book, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, that doesn't really play into the timeline. It was the first one, but that whole series that he wrote is really, really good. Now, Vince Flynn passed away, sadly, a few years ago, but somebody who was his writing partner-ish, I guess you could say, has continued on the series. It's an amazing, if you like that political espionage thriller type of book, like it's one of those.
Identity?
Yes. Like
it had that same feel to it for sure.
And you could you could sit there and just read the whole book in a sitting. Like it's not a thin book, but you just like keep wanting to turn the page. So it was really good. But so he played basically that older ex-CIA mentor role. And I was like, man, that is a perfect perfect Bruce Wayne. So I'll be curious to see how much of that we get whenever this happens. Now, obviously, all this stuff is years away, but we'll see. In other DC news, HBO Max is also kind of starting with with the director of the Batman. So the director of the Arbats, new Batman movie coming out, a new spinoff about the Gotham Police Department, which I think is really, honestly, but that is pretty. To me, that sounds pretty cool.
Cool.
I agree. So, I think we'll actually see the real Gotham because it'll be on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I'll be curious about whether this is like Gotham PD that's looking at like organized crime, the Carmine Falcones, and all of that, or are we going to see like the true like rogues gallery? Are we going to see Riddler or Joker or anything like that, and Gotham PD trying to deal with those things? What I don't know is where this lands in the timeline. I don't know that they have said where this lands in the timeline, if this is pre-Batman, with Batman, it's something like that. It's true. So yeah, I throw that up there. So yeah, you've got that piece of it. So I mean, I'm very interested to see what that's going to look like. But to Nick's point, yeah, it is. That is, yeah. There's Jetpack. What's up, Jetpack? It's all the Batmans. So yeah, I'm very curious to see where that's going to land in the timeline, and whether or not you're going to see any of the rogues gallery. But like you said, like sure, there's probably not a police department that is one more corrupt or more gritty or whatever than Gotham.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, truthfully, I wouldn't mind a story about Jim Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was thinking a prequel and everything, like maybe what it was like before Batman, because I don't think they had as many of like the rogues and stuff, and just them trying to figure out stuff, or maybe even trying to solve the Wayne's murder or something. If it's before Batman, it's Batman. He's young and away before he comes back, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably that'd be a good point too. Is before that, like I would also like to see this is pre Two-Face Harvey Dent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could really see Harvey Dent, because what most people like forget is that Harvey Dent is in the 1989 Batman for about 3 seconds, and he's played by the incomparable Billy D. Williams. So, and so, yeah, that's the, because they had plans to do Two-Face and things like that with him, but, stuff didn't quite work out that way. But, so yeah, I think that the timing is going to be the key as to what that story is going to be. Because you could even go like year one-ish Batman, where he's not Batman, but there's all these reports of this, rogue ninja looking dude all in black and whatever, in a black ski mask, like kind of like you see in Mask of the Phantasm, getting, dealing with crime and stuff like that. Like there's that piece of it also. I don't know that there's necessarily a need to build like the Fox Gotham did,
Right.
basically to the cowl. Like, I don't think that's the point. I don't think there's a reason to do it that way.
It would be cool also. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're fine.
Just to see them, since most of them, to my knowledge, just kind of find Batman more as an annoyance. So I think it would be cool to just hear them like complaining about this ninja guy, all this extra work and all this extra paperwork they have to do because this dummy keeps trying to be a hero.
Yeah. It's like, man, we found these criminals and they were all tied up, but we didn't see them commit a crime. So what do we do?
Right.
I mean, that's a
very good point that no one ever talks about.
The paperwork impact of Batman.
They're correct.
The fact that they're never caught in the act. They
are never caught in the act. You're right.
Basically, they could be the victim.
It's comic books.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
correct.
so-
They don't
Comic book logic.
It's true. So yeah, I think that's going to be Jetpack's asking how we all have been. By the way, busy.
We're
Bored.
Yeah.
making it.
Yep. I feel you, Jetpack. I really do.
Been very busy myself, even though work's not in session right now. I feel like I'm working harder before school starts.
So yeah, that's going to be, like you said, it's more wait and see for DC. What's going to happen there? So we're going to save gaming for the end because there's so much gaming to get into. There's a lot of stuff. Basically, if you have time off, just November 1st through November 30th, because you're going to need it, is what that whole month. So Comic-Con is doing this Comic-Con at home thing. We're basically going to do a bunch of online panels and things like that, which is cool. And so Disney Plus has joined. It's July 23rd through the 26th, so next week. And Disney Plus has announced that they're going to join Comic-Con at home with virtual panels for 3 original titles: Phineas and Ferb the movie, Candace Against the Universe, the anthology series Marvel 616, and the National Geographic scripted series The Right Stuff. So
Is that one about the New Kids on the Block?
I would think so. Think so.
Just asking.
It's either that or it's an original series based on the early days of the U.S. space program.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Or both.
I'm gonna hope the latter.
Yeah. So, I mean, what
Is
it's
that
going
right?
to be?
Wait, no, I want it to be about the space. Is that the correct way?
Yeah,
to
it's the
use that?
latter.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so this is the premise: is it's going to be about the space program, but at the end, there's a montage. There's always a montage, and it's always backed by New Kids on the Block music. I feel like we have a winner.
What if they make a musical about the space program, but it is set to New Kids on the Block?
No.
I mean, here's in a world. I mean, I'm just saying, in a world where Hamilton is one of the most watched things on all streaming services of all time, I think anything is possible. Like Hamilton's amazing. I feel like a New Kids on the Block space program musical could be equally amazing.
I mean,
at what point would Hanging
so long?
At what point would the song "Hanging Tough" come in?
It's got to
like
be
Apollo.
Training
Got to be
montage.
like Apollo 13 or something.
Training montage.
Yeah,
got to be a training montage.
They're doing their spacewalk and they slip and they got to hang on to a bar.
And they're like, "We're rough."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's gonna be.
I mean, I'm absolutely not for that. Even if New Kids on the Block was the first concert I ever saw as a kid, because that was the thing. Church, don't look at me like that. It is what it is. I was like 7.
I'm like covering him with my hand.
Me or him?
Phil. Church.
Oh, okay.
So the one thing about the Marvel 616 series is Marvel 616 explores how Marvel's rich legacy of stories, characters, and creators exist within the world outside your window. Each documentary, helmed by a different filmmaker, explores the intersections of storytelling, pop culture, and fandom within the Marvel universe. So I think that's going to be cool. I think that's going to be really, really cool.
That will be cool.
Well, and let's be real. Anything that Disney does with regard to like space or anything like that, it's also going to be pretty cool. Like they just, they have the ability to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Leading the Disney's Right Stuff is Patrick J. Adams. So from Suits is where I know him from. So he's playing John Glenn. So Patrick J. Adams is basically our age, but he's playing John Glenn. That should put you in a time. That should give you your time frame as to what that is. So yeah, it should be pretty cool. So I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of panels. I'm sure we'll have stuff to talk about with various announcements and whatnot that's happening there. Unfortunately, one of the announcements that has been made, we think, I'm still waiting on confirmation, is Falcon and Winter Soldier is not going to be released in August. The article it indicates that apparently it is said that it is not. Oh, Disney Plus released a full list of new movies and shows on the streaming service arriving in August. The Falcon and Winter Soldier was not on that list. So
that's not entirely shocking.
No. So
yeah, with all their delays and stuff, I bet it's been pushed back for that.
Yep, but they have said that that WandaVision is still on track.
What?
For December.
I think we're all in WandaVision right now.
We are. We might all be in WandaVision.
I bet that WandaVision started filming before, and if it's a lot of magical stuff or mystic or whatever, they probably have a lot more of like green screen and stuff where they don't have to be out and around as much for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with all of that, they probably had to start shooting early so they had to have time to do all the visual effects, things like that. We do know that Mandalorian season 2 is done. Like that's been confirmed. Like that's not changing. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what that will look like. So Anthony Mackie said, when we were in Europe, everything got crazy in Europe first, so they shut us down 2 weeks before the U.S. shut down. He said, it's really amazing because I feel like we're the first Marvel show or movie that had budget constraints. It was always my experience. It's Marvel. We could shoot forever. Like, nah. So it's a very different experience in the movies, but at the same time, a lot of fun. So we'll see whenever that's going to get dropped. There's no telling. Yeah, Jetpack, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Witcher season 2. We are going to. There is a Henry Cavill story in the gaming section, which is amazing. It's so amazing. Another Marvel news. Marvel has confirmed the Infinity Stones are no more. They are destroyed. They are gone until they go back in time.
I was going to say, I feel like those things have been destroyed before.
Yes.
Maybe.
And I'm back.
Maybe. But Doctor Strange is looking for the Time Stone still as a result. And apparently he gets tricked in some manner or fashion and unleashes unspeakable evil, per the article.
Isn't that his job?
His job is to make sure the unspeakable evil stays where it should be, but he's not good at it.
Yes, it never really goes that way, though, right? Like,
but didn't he unleash the thing? Like, and I can't even think of the name of it now.
Dormammu.
The thing that
Dormammu?
That's it. Dormammu.
No, he trapped Dormammu.
He trapped it.
He trapped him in a time loop.
But didn't he like? No, that was the other guy.
That was
because it was the guys that had all the raccoon eyes,
bloody eyes.
Yeah, like they worshipped him or something.
I need to rewatch that movie.
Oh
yeah,
Mads Mikkelsen character.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I need to rewatch that too. They released it in 4K. I bet you like all the CGI stuff probably looks absolute bananas in that.
And he was like, "I've come to bargain."
Yep.
That's right.
I've come to bargain, and he's like, ah!
He annoyed him.
He annoyed him into submission.
Hey, it happens.
It's like what I used to do with my parents.
Exactly.
So did you guys happen to see the Star Wars links that I put in there? Has everybody seen? I mean, I know the whole group's seen Rise of Skywalker, but have you guys also seen all of the Clone Wars stuff, the new season?
I haven't seen the new season.
Okay.
We lost church.
Well, then we might wait on the Clone Wars one then.
Is it about
the Bad Batch?
Yeah.
Bad Batch, yeah.
Is that group of clones? Is that the clones that are like the main clones that are in Clone Wars?
No.
I like them.
No, they weren't in Clone Wars whatsoever. And speaking of that, the Bad Batch is getting an animated series coming up, which is really exciting because the Clone Wars themselves kind of had a final season, but it doesn't feel like it's fully done.
But I think I did see the newest Clone Wars because Rex and all of them were in it.
Yes, so Rex is there.
Find them. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, they recruited them to help with a mission.
Yes.
And the Bad Batch are like defective clones that have superpowers, so to speak. Like one's like ridiculously intelligent, one's a sharpshooter, one's ridiculously strong, like can lift up a whole spaceship.
They're the Avengers.
Yeah, pretty much. You have Will Smith's character, which is like, he's dead accurate. But anyway, they're also non-typical clones. So like they are sarcastic, they're rude to each other, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of excited about it for
awesome.
Sure. It's gonna be good.
Is that something you think that people could watch standalone, or do you think they're going to need the backstory, or do you think they're going to get the backstory in the new series?
You're going to get more. You would have to get more about them in the new series than you did during Clone Wars, because they show up, they're there for a couple of episodes, and that's really about it. Like, there's not much story about them. Okay. So my guess is it'll be a little bit of a backstory, maybe in conjunction with Clone Wars, but I definitely think it's going to be made as a standalone story.
Because I'm just saying, sarcastic, superpowered clones, like that seems very exciting to me.
They were hilarious. I mean, they're really cool. They're really hilarious. And I thought, I don't know. I thought it was awesome.
I think it's awesome.
That's gonna be fun.
And they were an interesting character to be brought in, because even the Rex and the clones, like, they didn't like him. Commander Cody is friends with them, and so he brings them in. And anyway, it all goes against every protocol that they have. And, it's an interesting mix, to say the least. So anyway, and then
I was excited to see that.
For sure. The thing I'm most pumped for, and it's going to make me end up having to buy a whole new run of Star Wars comic books that I'm not buying currently. Luke Skywalker on the cover of issue 6 of the Empire Strikes Back Star Wars series with a yellow lightsaber.
That's dope.
And it's going to kind of unfold the story as to what lightsaber went between Anakin's blue one when his dad cut his hand off and when he got his green one in Return of the Jedi.
Is there a significance that it's yellow?
Very much so. Yellow is an incredibly rare lightsaber. It typically applies to someone like Rey or Luke Skywalker, where they've not had traditional training. They've gained their skill through combat and through book knowledge, instead of being at the Jedi Temple and actually going through the training. Typically, the yellow lightsabers were only used for those kinds of people. The Sentinels at the Jedi Tower had yellow lightsabers, and you see them in I want to say Clone Wars, but it's probably Rebels actually. You see them there for a little bit. Like, one of the Inquisitors comes out in Rebels and has one.
Okay.
Like, it's his ghost, but he has one. And so then, the first time you ever saw it in live action was in Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, which is why it was such a big deal, because you've only seen it a couple of times here and there in Star Wars shows, and they've always been for people that are not really the main character. They're just kind of a secondary character.
So it's not like when they go to it's not the temple, but when they go to wherever they go to get the stones, when they pick out their
stuff. Yeah. The Force guides them to those kyber crystals. Mm-hmm. And so with that in mind, that's the Force chose them to have that.
Okay.
And so essentially it's based on the fact of how he's gained his skills in the Force, how he's become strong. And it has a lot to do with the combat that he's gone through with Vader. And then, having to learn through studying, much like Rey, So,
isn't the one of the most rare Star Wars toys is a Luke Skywalker with a double telescoping yellow lightsaber?
I think so. I don't know about yellow, but I think so.
I can't remember if it's yellow or blue, but
I think it's blue.
Double telescoping lightsaber. I can't remember.
Like, you mean on either end?
No, it extends twice. Like
Remember those big ones you could get at like KB Toys or something before they got really fancy with the lightsaber?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a blue one, because I don't ever remember, and I mean, granted, we grew up in a time where Star Wars really wasn't a thing on TV, but I don't ever remember a yellow lightsaber at all. But you may be right, Kev. I don't know.
I just remember a.
It looks yellow.
I think it's yellow.
Keep it now.
It might be. It
looks like there was really no effort made, because the hilt is yellow too.
Oh yeah,
What if
no,
they
it's
never painted
awful.
it? Like they just made it and then sent it off because kids didn't care then, or they didn't. The makers didn't care.
Or
They
maybe
didn't,
that was as close to
either way.
green as they could get.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's the other part of it is the shape of the hilt that he's holding in this cover is very different from even the green or the blue lightsabers that he lost.
yeah.
So either he found a yellow lightsaber or he was granted a yellow kyber crystal.
How funny
Yeah.
would that have been if he just found it? He was like, "Oh, hey."
It could have been while he was serving. I mean, the thing, like you see it in Rogue One where, what is the guy's name that the blind Will that has the staff? What is his
Yeah.
name?
I don't know his name, but I know what you
His
mean.
actual name. But anyway,
Donnie Yen?
His actual name is Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, thank you. So his character can hear the Force or feel the Force in that kyber crystal that she's wearing. So it constantly calls out to them. So, I mean, it could have been a previous lightsaber because, I mean, it looks very elegant on the cover, which makes me kind of believe that it might have been a Sentinel of some type that had it originally. And it could have just been calling to him. So I don't know.
That's true because the lightsaber called to Rey.
Exactly. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to buy the books and figure it out
Then you can
because
tell
that's rad. Huh?
And then you can tell us.
Yeah. Well, I've got all the regular the Star Wars like A New Hope story. Pretty sure I have them all. The variants are still haunting me though. That's the only thing that's getting me. The issue 1 variants. So
Yeah.
yes, Sam. The toys from the Yellow Age. Oh, it's yellow because of age. Maybe.
There is a double telescoping yellow lightsaber. Any Star Wars toys that are double telescoping lightsaber. Hey, look who's here! Straight from YouTube. That's his name. That's Donnie Yen's
That's
name.
the character's name. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Cheru Tinley.
Yeah. So you've got a the double telescoping lightsabers are the rarest of that. I want to say yellow is the most rare because were we at Dallas? I can't remember if you were with me or not. Maybe it was the first time we went to Dallas. Somebody had a graded double telescoping lightsaber Luke in a thing, and they were asking, I think, $10,000 for it. And it's one of those things like holding like, Fantastic Four #1 there was, like we did in Fantasy 15. It's like, I just want to hold that.
Yeah. They were really nice to just let us touch that, by the way.
Yeah.
I was a little terrified I was going to drop it on the glass or something. I just didn't. I wanted it out of my hands. I almost couldn't. I almost didn't want to touch it.
Yeah. Ahoy, Brandon. Ahoy. So, so that's going to be cool. That's interesting. I mean, at this point, we'll take whatever entertainment we can get to see what's that look like. Is there a release date on that book when this coming out?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago, I think. Hang on. Let's see here.
Wait, you tell me that we would know the story now if you had read the book?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Sorry, guys. Looks like you were supposed to order it March, so it's probably already out. They're probably on like book 15 by now. Gotcha. I just with the way things have gone at the local shop, I haven't spent the time to really try to figure all that out and mess with it. So that's unfortunate.
All right, let's get into some TV and movie news. Let's start with the sad stuff. This affected me way more than I thought it would. Grant Imahara from Mythbusters, R2, one of the few people on the planet that is qualified to run R2-D2, things like that, suddenly passed away from a brain aneurysm last week. For whatever reason, this hit really weird and hit me really funny, mainly because Mythbusters used to just be a constant on my television as background noise all the time. I've probably spent a lot of time watching that kind of stuff, even in general. And he was always very light, very fun, very whatever. Obviously, he did some of the robot wars with the robots that fight each other. What are those things called?
BattleBots.
Thank you. some of those things. He worked on the Matrix sequels, Lost World, Jurassic Park, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. He operated R2D2 in the prequels.
I didn't know that. Unfortunately.
So it is a it's incredibly sad. In that one, like I said, that hit me kind of funny. That's one of those things that, like, Mythbusters is one of those shows, like, on the scale, like, it's like Shark Tank on CNBC. Chances are it's on. Like, if you want to just watch it, like, you can go and watch and see and whatever. So
it's like Practical Jokers on True
TV, yeah. And so
True.
Yep. So he was 49, which he didn't look 40. I didn't assume, like,
no.
Yeah, he was 49. So
isn't that amazing how some people can be like so much older than what they look?
Vampires?
Or vampires. But I mean, like, you almost kind of wonder, is it like a dietary thing? Is it a genetic thing? You know, like, what is it about that person that makes them look so much younger than they are? Like, we had a para at our building that was, she was, how old was she? She was like 75. I mean, maybe she looked 50. Maybe, you know, like this
really good skincare routine.
Yeah, it's just, it's amazing to me.
I've heard that's important, Hams.
It is. It's very important.
Someone has been telling me that good skincare is very important.
Especially once you get into your mid-30s.
Yes. Someone.
Oh, well, I'm way out of luck on that one. Yeah. I'm 2 years out of my 40s.
So there's got to be, like, there's got to be a component of it that I would think that he literally was doing what he loved to do all the time, and, like, not having that sort of, I mean, I'm sure there's stress in what he was doing, but, you know, it was obvious that he really enjoyed everything that he was doing. That has that's got to have an effect too. Did you say you're 2 out of your 40s? Is that same as asking, does that make you 51?
No, I'm 38.
So you're 2 years.
I'm 2 away from being 40.
40s. Yeah. Okay. So
I'd count that as mid-30s. You could get away with that.
Yeah. All right. That's why I grew a beard. That way I don't have to worry about face care.
You still work.
I know.
Take care of that.
Trust me.
Believe me.
It makes it more complicated.
The guy that had shingles, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, have any of you watched The Old Guard on Netflix?
I've not.
No, but I'm going to.
Am I alone in this chat? If you were watching and you've watched The Old Guard, please.
I want to see it, but yeah, I have not. I have my reasons I want to see it, but I haven't.
What are your reasons?
Yeah, that
was so big.
Well, I mean, the main character is one of those reasons.
Oh,
yes, I'm 78.
Yes, some Charlize, huh?
Yeah,
it is. I'm a day on that for sure.
Lincoln's not Felicity.
Like Astronaut's Wife.
Was she in that?
Well, yeah, I think so. I don't know. I just threw out a title. There's another one.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, but that was nah.
Hey,
Devil. Oh my gosh, Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, one of her first. Yeah,
that's what I meant to say.
That's a messed up movie.
Hey, Ned,
and I do think she is an astronaut's wife. What?
That mug you have?
Yeah.
How much does retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal.
Nice. He was ready. So The Old Guard, new movie of Charlize Theron. And
hopefully $1.
Has cracked the all-time top 10 in Netflix viewings, and it's been out for 2 weeks. At the time of this article, which is basically
total?
All-time total.
More than The Witcher? More than Stranger Things?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Stranger Things, yeah.
Well, you're talking about television versus movies.
Okay.
And I saw something today about the Chris Hemsworth Netflix thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Extraction.
Somebody.
Big difference between Extinction and distraction. Like
Get
not
out.
just a couple of letters. Like the whole meaning is different.
So, yeah. So the article, which came out at about 2:00 this morning, 72 million watches. So you're talking about there's 100 and some odd million Netflix
Sam says
subscribers.
more than Avatar.
Yeah, more than Avatar. There are
And
70.
Brandon, yes, Charlize is the reason. Sorry.
There's
Kat.
100. You're fine. There's 100 and some odd million. Excuse me, Netflix. 100 some odd million Netflix subscribers. You're talking about a 75. Like, if you just look at the numbers, you'd be talking about like a 70 some odd % consumption rate. What it actually is repeat viewings. People are watching it more than once because of what it sets up long term and what it could do.
Are they actually going to continue this movie?
That is the indication. So what's interesting? So the director Gina Price Bythewood also. This is the first time that a female and an African American female director has made that top 10 list. So everybody on Twitter is just like, huge props and praise and things like that. It is it's amazing.
My only issue with Netflix movies and Extraction is very much the same. It's the endings. They just end.
Well,
so does this just end, or does it lead you to believe there's going to be more?
Yes, there's going to be more.
Because there was one that was really good, I thought, for Netflix being just Bright is an example of that. I really liked Bright, but it just ended, and then we haven't heard a thing. I mean, there was some conversation about Bright 2, but there are so many unanswered questions.
It's called Brighter.
Do what?
Brightest.
It's called Brighter.
It's going to be Brighter.
Yeah.
Brighter. Brighter, and then Brightest. Those are the titles.
It's Too Bright, Too Brighter.
Ooh, nice. So then my next question is there's another one. And it was End of Days or End of Time or something like that. But it had no.
End of Days?
It was about the world ending,
Arnold?
and they didn't know why. And it had a guy from Underworld in it, Underworld 2.
Are you talking about the one that it just ends in the giant smoke cloud?
Yeah, they're just driving and there's a smoke.
I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's how the world
That's what I went to.
And then there's another one called Yonkers. No, not Yonkers. Bushwick with oh my gosh, it's who plays Drax? What's his name? What's his real name? Batista. So he's the main character in this movie, along with Brittany Snow, and it just ends. And it ends in the most horrific way. You think, all right, finally, yes, they're gonna make it, and then there's gonna be more movie, and it's done.
All right. So two things.
Maybe they just ended badly, and they're sometimes they don't win, sometimes they die.
I mean, this was absolutely a scenario of the people you're rooting for the entire movie they just meet their demise, and it's over with. There is no more movie at that point.
What if they ran out of budget and they're sorry, we can't finish this movie. This is
if I was Brittany Snow, I'd be pretty sad with how I ended there. Because I've done all of this, and then it's boom, done. Over with. End of movie. Title.
So Netflix is saying it's on track to do 72 million households in the first month, not just in this week. So clarify on that. So do you think some of that is because
everyone's home?
Well, no, I'm talking about on the Netflix movies just ending, because I feel you on that. Do you think it's because we are so used to Netflix TV shows giving us so much time and so much story that for something to end that quickly, even if the ending is if it's there, do you think it just feels different because we expect so much more from Netflix and not just I'm out?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's not an investment of time. It's an investment of telling the story, and for them to just, I'm with Nick on this. For them to just go, we're done.
What about Bird Box?
Got it right there. That's fine.
Did it end okay?
What?
Bird Box?
I don't know. I couldn't see it.
I never watched it.
I didn't see it either. Joni watched it. I think I might have been watching Narcos or something, but she watched it.
Yep. So,
she goes, it is weird.
I mean, it's not every Netflix movie, but I have noticed a trend.
It's literally the ones that I named are the ones that I have noticed it in. I haven't watched all of their movies, but because some of them don't interest me, like
I don't watch a lot of their movies.
You've watched all of them.
It's a 50% rate.
So if you get, here's the thing that Netflix I think can do that other studios can't do. They can do stuff like that, like those endings and things like that, because you've already invested the time, you've already paid them your monthly fee. They can't do that in regular studio movies because the first weekend they're like, man, the ending's terrible, and then the movie's done. Like, it's just going to tank. Netflix, you really have, like, they can take those risks. Like Hannah said, like, sometimes they don't win.
Well, and I mean, the movie Bushwick absolutely makes you think, well, that's kind of what happened, the end of the world one. I can't even think of the name of it, but they were like in a process to go somewhat. Like, the movie wasn't done. They didn't get engulfed by the cloud. They were still well, I mean, we don't know, but they were driving. I don't know. I don't know.
It was.
I don't like open-ended things, so I
guess that's my thing. That's a great way to say that right there. Yeah. That's a great way to say that. I guess that's my issue.
So there, Old Guard, you won't have that problem.
Okay, good.
There's a definitive ending as to what the whole thing is, and then there is a setup for what could potentially be the next part. And it is based on a graphic novel. It's a really cool premise in terms of, without spoiling anything, there's a group of immortals, basically. They don't know why they are immortals and things like that. And they have been around for, some for hundreds of years, some for thousands of years. And you see like where they intersect with history a little bit. And then of course it's, the antagonist is, of course, Big Pharma, which, wanting to figure out how they are doing, because it gets basically they kind of get found out by a few people. And so it is, they have basically the equivalent of a post-credit scene, but it's not post-credits. It is basically black screen and then another. So because the director said, here's a problem with post-credit scenes with Netflix movies. Netflix says, hey, you want to watch this? And then moves you on before the credits are over.
Right.
So Brandon says Umbrella Academy, also no ending. Yeah, but you're getting a season 2. Yeah. So,
but I also think that Umbrella Academy has a set of books to go with it that you can manage that. I don't know.
Yes, it is Nick Fury asking the people from the Old Guard if they would like to join the Avengers. No.
Well, and then I like how you phrase that they're immortals. Some have been around for thousands of years. Some have been around for hundreds of years. Makes it very much sound like Highlander and how they die and they come back and like, oh, okay. Cool.
Well, what's fun?
Anybody running around with swords? That's all I need to know.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Who?
Him. I mean,
Church?
I couldn't see me point, but yeah, Church.
How about now?
Okay, yeah, I can.
It's probably because I keep talking over him.
Sorry.
They so yes, there are swords and other weapons of various eras. But the way they handle the immortality piece of it is very it's very interesting.
You know what? Okay. They should redo Highlander.
They've been talking about it for a long time. Ryan Reynolds was attached to a new Highlander movie for a long time.
With like all the changes and effects and stuff. I'm so sorry, Church. It would be good.
Church, you're pointing the actual part of the microphone down.
I
mean, you're better that way, but I mean, it'll work.
It's the blue.
Yeah, it's the blue.
Okay, I can fix that.
So
there you go.
I was like, please don't break the mic.
Hey, did you guys see the coolest thing that's on Netflix right now besides The Old Guard?
You talking about moving Cobra Kai season 3?
not only Cobra Kai season 3, but all 3, maybe 4 of the Karate Kids are on Netflix.
My mom texted me maybe last week and said, I'm watching.
Jetpack says Food Wars.
Yeah. Yes, Food Wars. Is text me last week, said, I'm watching the Karate Kids in reverse order.
Oh, nice.
So she watched.
I have only noticed 1, 2, and 3. I haven't noticed 4 on there. Probably because they don't claim 4. They retconned it.
Yeah. So she watched 3, then 2, then 1. And then she made the blasphemous statement, Mom, I love you, but come on. She's just like, I don't think 1 is very good. I'm just like, what?
Well, in reverse order.
In reverse order. It's the best around.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's ever going to let you down. Come on. It's the best.
Yeah, you're triggering Jetpack there, Church, by the way you're holding that microphone. So, and yes, it is a training droid.
Church, do you have something to say that we keep interrupting you? Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Troll.
Yeah. So when are we getting the 3rd season of Cobra Kai? Do we know? I haven't even watched 1 and 2 yet.
Oh man. You've got to watch season 1 and 2. They are by far not as good as the movies. Like, they are not great, but they are very current in terms of, I think, bringing in new kids to watch it, like New Kids on the Block, and
they're hanging tough.
It shows you, it really shows you how, like, Daniel LaRusso and everybody grew up and how adults would be towards their high school enemy kind of a thing. And it also kind of gives you a different perspective. So it's like Johnny's always the bad guy in Karate Kid, right? Like Cobra Kai is the bad. Well, it kind of flips it the other way to where the Miyagi-Do is bad, so to speak. And Johnny's really struggled since he got defeated in the first episode or first movie. He's like always had all of these issues centering back to that one thing. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's there you go. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think if you like the Karate Kid movie, like the first one, you don't even have to necessarily like the other ones. They do mention Okinawa and stuff, but it's more like it's kind of a brief mention. They spend a lot of time memorializing Pat Morita, which is really cool, a cool aspect of it. And so I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think you should watch it. And then season 3 obviously is going to be good. The ending of season 2 was kind of like a little bit cringeworthy, but if you think about it in terms of, kids being misled, it kind of exactly the same path as Karate Kid, where all of the stuff happens because their teaching was bad, so to speak. It's really pretty cool.
Netflix is saying the first 2 seasons will be on Netflix later this year, which really there's only like 5 more months left of this year. And there hasn't been an exact release date for season 3 yet.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm reading it right now and haven't seen it, but
yeah,
I'm telling you, it's for something that is 30 minutes long on YouTube. It's pretty quality made. I mean, pretty good.
So, speaking of, Netflix has basically been our entertainment since movie theaters have remained closed. Cinemark has said that they have delayed their reopening till July 24th. That may actually be reopened. There may actually be delayed again. It's entirely possible with everything that's going on that we may not see anything until, depending on if theaters, and this is the complicated. Okay. If theaters have basically like California is still shut down, no theaters, no nothing, and they are reclosed or whatever, whether they will open like partially, like they'll open, Oklahoma, Texas, whatever, and leave California closed, or whether they want to open everything at once. So we don't know. Brandon's asking what the news is with Tenet. Tenet has a new release date. It got pushed into August, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
August 12th.
They're thinking it may be pushed again. They're not being too firm on that date.
I imagine it will be.
Yeah, they're saying Tenet August 12th, Mulan 21st, Bill and Ted the 28th, Quiet Place Part 2 September 4th. But I don't know that we're gonna hit those dates. So that'll be interesting to see what is happening there. So let's see what else to get into. It's time to get into some gaming. Let's talk about some gaming. Let's talk about PlayStation. So PlayStation 5, though we do not have a price yet, nor do we have a release date yet, Microsoft is having its big Xbox launch next week. And indications are, or rumors are, I think because people are just tired of waiting, that we might get a price and we might get a price and we might get a release date for the Xbox. General consensus is Sony is waiting to release their price and stuff until Microsoft does. That's what it is. Welcome back. We're talking about the PlayStation 5.
Why?
Exactly right. But people are talking about like capacity and whether they're going to be able to get one on pre-order and all this other stuff, things like that. And Sony has announced on July 15th that they have doubled production of the PlayStation 5 to meet increased demand resulting from the pandemic. Basically, they know people are stuck at home. There's no, Switches sold out, all that other stuff. And so they have doubled production of the PS5.
Mitch is looking for a Switch, I think. So keep an eye out.
You got $600?
Yeah, if you got $600.
Shoot, you're telling me I could sell ours for $600?
Probably.
Used one, maybe not that much, but you could fly.
500. Okay.
Well, here's the thing: like this has impacted absolutely everything. Like I was trying to get lighting, the Elgato smart lighting for the studio here or whatever, and it's been sold out for months. And it comes into stock and it's gone in 10 minutes. Like it's just boom, gone. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the cam links, the way that they do their camera stuff or whatever. The cam links were out of stock because so many people are doing
work from home
and things like that. Great, you don't need a cam link for that, but it is I've been stalking Amazon and Best Buy for weeks.
Do mic?
Do I have a boom mic? Yes. Right there.
Yeah. Sorry. I was like, is that what I think it is? Okay.
That is the okay. So I am all in on the Elgato like ecosystem. I literally have everything. So that's the Elgato Wave 3. That's the new microphone. And I really like it actually. It's really cool. But it has impacted consoles in a big way in terms of availability and things like that. And so even more so to prepare for what is coming for the demand for the Series X for Xbox, Microsoft has said we have stopped production on the Microsoft Xbox One X. So it is not. So basically, they're not making any more. So once whatever stock is out there is gone, it's gone. And so, that's going to be. So that's So this might be an opportune time for people if they are going to buy the Series X and things like that, and people want to get a One X. Might be a good time for some resale action. And so I've got a buddy of mine who's selling his stuff, trying to sell his stuff this weekend or whatever. I told him to keep me posted to let me know how it goes, to see what the market is actually like out there. No more One X, and the Xbox One S all digital edition. So the discless one, they stopped production on it as well. So I assume that they're doing that because they need the production volume for the Series X. There was I should have attached it. There's a meme out there that says this is the only like theme or whatever that the Series X needs, and it's because it stands up tall and it's whatever, and it looks like an Amazon box. Like it has like the Amazon tape up the side of it and stuff like that. It's like, this is the only version of the Xbox Series X that we need. So it's actually pretty funny, but yep. So I have one of those too. I could never sell the Scorpio. I do like that one too. But yeah, they will completely miss out on the One X unless you go to the secondary market. So. Yep. Barry was playing on an original Xbox One. Not an S, not an X, nothing. Yeah, original Xbox One. Yeah. He doesn't want to.
While we're being nosy about technology, so it's a Wave 3 or a Wave 1?
Wave 3.
Wave 3.
Yes, it is a Wave 3. I went with the Wave 3 stuff because of the software integration that comes with it, where basically, we'll geek out for half a second here. The control center for the Wave 3, you can input different things like Discord and all these other pieces and parts, and you can dynamically address each one from the software. So like if I'm streaming, I can mute Discord where you can't hear it, but I can still hear it. And stuff like that. So there's a lot of really cool integration that's coming with it, and what it's capable of. Sounds it's a little buggy at the moment, but there's a lot of really cool different pieces of it. Where basically, like in OBS, like you have all the different things, like where the sound is coming from, PC or capture card or stuff like that. All your audio is going to be fed through that control center, and it's going to be one thing, and you're going to adjust it there, and it's fully Stream Deck integrated, which means you're going to be able to adjust everything from a Stream Deck and stuff like that. So,
cool.
Yeah. And so, Jetpack's exactly right. It's basically Control Center is a software version of Go XLR. Go XLR hardware is this really cool piece of hardware that does a lot of that stuff. It's Elgato's making some really cool stuff right now. Like and I just like the integration. I like that everything is in one ecosystem. And I can, do stuff with the Stream Decks and all that other stuff. So yeah, it's cool. Elgato stuff is awesome. This is not a sponsored post.
You just got real loud, and then you went soft again. And you got real loud again.
So, yeah, it's really cool. So, all right. So more gaming stuff. Let's talk about November. There's a general consensus that the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5 will both come out in November. We know that Cyberpunk has been delayed till November 19th, Cyberpunk 2077, which looks absolutely amazing. Bungie has now announced that Destiny Beyond Light has been delayed till November 10th.
What's Beyond Light?
Beyond Light is the new big expansion.
No, sorry. I just meant the term Beyond Light. I'm sorry. I was just being a dork.
Don't know.
Because I was like, is it more light? Is it dark?
No, it's going to be dealing with the dark, I think.
It's darkness. We are getting a new kind of darkness-based, I don't call it a subclass, but there is way more darkness stuff coming. And so, so...
Jetpack, I tried to play Destiny once. Our friend, the good Reverend, had to walk me through so much, and I died so many times just trying to jump from one rock boulder thing to another. And he had to keep coming back. He's so very nice and patient because I couldn't do it. And it was for I don't know, it was a long time ago, Jetpack, but it took me 30 minutes for me to complete something that he'd already gotten into and just had to wait for me. It took him maybe 5 minutes. It was way too long.
I bet jumping in Destiny is a complicated thing. Brandon, that is blasphemy in this stream.
He's struggling.
Yes. The Warlock jump is awful.
I love the Warlock jump.
I don't know. Was it Warlock? It was just a bunch of different ones. You had to just keep jumping from one to the other. It was not
right there.
Controlled. It's controlled. It's helpful.
It made me think, do you remember? You might have heard of this game. It's really old. Super Mario Brothers. And you're having to jump. Like, there's the little ledge and you have to jump from one to the other. And then you have to, or the trees. Do you remember the stupid trees? And you had to jump and everything was moving. That's what it was like, but a million times worse. If I can't do it on a 2D game, I can't do it on a 3D game.
Then you should have been the princess because she can glide.
You didn't have that option then.
Well, that's true. And one, you didn't.
They didn't care about girls then, so I didn't play as a girl. I got to play as a kind of pudgy plumber. So,
just saying.
What about 2?
I did play as her, as Peach.
So there's going to be a lot of games in November. It's going to be amazing. He says it's not that old.
My apologies.
Yeah, so we've got so November is going to be amazing. We're going to have Destiny Beyond Light. We're going to have Cyberpunk. We could potentially have 2 new consoles. It's just take November off, people. Like at this point,
I might not have a choice, so we'll see.
Yeah. So they will. So they said that in Destiny there's a thing called Festival of the Lost, which is their Halloween thing, which is typically would be in the next season. They're saying they're bringing it into this season. So you're gonna have a lot of
some Destiny. I've been putting it off. I don't know. It's like I'm just not in the mood to play.
This season's been really good. Like I've been really, really pretty happy with how it's been going.
Can I do a shout out to a game I have been playing?
Yes.
It's not Destiny. I'm sorry.
Pokemon
My
Go.
Time at Portia.
No, it's not. It's a new one. I mean, it's not new.
Stardew
but I
Valley?
went back to it. No, it's Mario Rabbids.
Mario is that the rabbits?
Yeah. And Lynn tells me it is like XCOM, but Mario. I've never played XCOM, so I can't tell you if it is not. But anyways, it's amazing. And Peach is awesome in it, too. That was really all I wanted to say, was she was really super awesome, and she was like a power player. Nice. And I beat it. I don't actually play games a lot, like all the way through. I kind of tend to forget about them and move on to something else. And I beat this one all the way through, almost entirely by myself. There's some puzzles in there that Lynn had to help me with. But so just wanted to say that.
There's some game that what's the game that Matt posted in the chat about?
Yeah, I want to play that too. Frost something?
Yeah.
Frostland or something?
Hold on, let me see what it was. He said
they died of frostbite. I know that.
It says for those who like The Sims, check out Frostpunk, free on Game Pass. It says my town is not doing well. Half my town has died, the rest are freezing. This may not be a game for me.
Is it like
hello, dear? Unless that's Tyler or Trent. Hello, both of you.
Hi. To Misty or Trent. But I am also playing
Maybe Tyler. Yeah.
Pokemon Monster GX. No, Mystery Dungeon. I don't know the name of it. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Monster GX. Gotcha.
Because I get to play as the Pokemon.
Jetpack, I need you to take me through Leviathan, please. I know most of the mechanics, but I need a PC. I need PC people.
I'm hurt by that. I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
I just Googled Frostpunk, and one of the questions, like it says, like people ask, and then it gives you all the questions, is why is Frostpunk so hard?
Sam says the world is frozen. You have to keep your population close to the heat source. Okay. Hello, dear. Yeah, it is. We'll have to check that out. There's so many games that I want to play. There's a new free DLC that dropped for No Man's Sky. Like No Man's Sky is building up to this game. We've talked about No Man's Sky quite a bit. Like when the game launched, it was absolutely terrible. And then all of these, like they've released all these big patches that makes the game and to changes the game and fixes a lot of stuff. There's a very kind of I would call it what is that game? Dead Space vibe to this one. And yes, Sam, Torchlight 2 is free on Epic Games as of like 2 days ago. So I'm definitely gonna grab Torchlight 2. I never played the first one, but I'm gonna grab that. So yeah, a lot of gaming, which is awesome. I like games.
Hey, can I say something that's just very interesting to me that has happened in the social space today?
Yes.
It's about the virus. I'll make it quick. But I'm really struggling to understand how someone can wait in a line in a car for 20 minutes to get tested and then leave, and then all of a sudden they get called back because they tested positive. I feel 99% sure that they don't take your information until they're ready to test you. Am I wrong? Can anybody verify that?
I have no idea.
There are posts that are going around Facebook right now. Literally, a lady that I used to work with just said, I know it's real, but 6 people have had this happen to them. The post makes no sense. It's like my husband or my wife or my friend sat in line for 20 minutes to get tested, even though they don't have any symptoms because they're taking care of some relative, and they decided to leave. And in the process of leaving, they get a phone call 20 minutes later saying that their test was positive.
So they never actually had the test?
There's not even a 20-minute test.
So they got called. So did they actually get tested, or did they leave?
No, not according to this at all. No.
Oh wow.
So that's my point. Is like, if you just read through it and think about like, okay, they didn't even get a test, then they got a phone call that their test was positive. Yeah. How did they get their phone call information? How did they get their information? Then secondly, there's not a 20-minute test anywhere.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you can get it back in a week now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it just something's not adding up, and all these people are buying into it, and it's hilarious to watch. It's like I want to get popcorn and just watch it. That's all. That's all I was gonna say.
There's a lot of deception happening.
But I mean, like literally, the comments are like, "Yeah, it happened to my friend," or "Yeah, it happened." Like, oh God, I can't. I just can't. I just can't.
Brandon's
funny. Wrong chat, bro. Sorry.
Wrong chat, bro. Brandon saying No Man's Sky is pretty great. And now I did install it on my machine. I'm a little concerned because like that's the kind of game, because everything's procedurally generated and stuff like that, where I could just wander off into who knows what universe and just lose 3 days. Like that's
I don't like games that have that big of like an open world, because if I find something cool and then I leave, I'm probably never going to be able to remember how to get back to that other cool thing.
It's a fair point.
Well, that's a fair
point. Especially if it's space. Like I'm like, what?
You can make your own planets, like, or you don't make your own planets, but you can basically habitate a planet and put stuff down, so you should be able to find it again.
Okay.
Yeah, Sam saying him and Brandon are playing through the Halo series on PC. I downloaded and installed Halo 3 to play that on PC. I'm excited about that.
Is it? It's not free, is it?
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Steam, but not free on Steam.
Playing through again with Flint, and I have played Halo. It's just, I guess I had forgotten how it all works, because I didn't even make it through like the tutorial where Master Chief like just wakes up. I accidentally shot one of the soldiers, and then it turns out that the soldiers don't like that, and they fight back.
Yeah, I did that the first time I played Halo 2.
And then I just never played again for that. I forgot and moved on to something else. But
I feel like when I played Halo the first time, I did the same thing, Hannah.
I was trying to remember like all the buttons, so I was just pressing them to figure out which was which, and then the process I found the shoot button, and it shot right at,
which is the trigger.
Okay.
Well, it is kind of confusing if you haven't played it in a while or never played it. You don't really know what's going on.
I'm going to put this out there. The one job Hannah should never have is anything with a button that launches a weapon of any kind.
Oh, no, never.
Because she's just like, I'm just pressing buttons just to see what happens. And
I couldn't remember what it was.
That's hilarious.
But, okay, in my defense, if
she's the dude in Fifth Element that presses the red button on the gun.
No, if I had like a missile push the red button thing, I would get some tape the masking tape and I put it above the button and I would just say, I would write what that button does or don't push this button.
Bad.
And then I wouldn't forget and then I wouldn't have that issue like with Halo. Also, I would never survive in a military setting, so I would never even get close to being in charge of that. But
no one else would survive around you in a military setting.
This is true. Oh, man.
You would probably be okay.
I don't know. I'd end up in military jail. The brig? Is that called?
No,
the brig.
Put you in alone to enemy territory. Not tell you they were enemies, tell you they were friends and you need to help them. And then give it a couple days.
It's true.
Sam has a good point. I would probably accidentally press the button while trying to write on the tape.
Right on the tape. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Halo, not enough masking tape.
Yeah, exactly. Also, yeah.
Yeah, there's they sent Church to the Brig and Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Have you guys watched Space Force?
We've watched the first 2 episodes.
Your duct tape thing is what made me think of that.
Yeah.
That's in it. Yeah.
Is that not an original thought? I thought I was onto something.
Oh, no. Your thought was fine. It triggered a memory of the show because it's quite funny.
Yeah.
I feel like that show was placed perfectly on Netflix at the perfect time when people needed to just lighten up a little bit.
They announced they renewed it for season 2.
Good.
Can't wait.
Yep.
Did we speaking of what Lisa Kudrow did?
I don't like. I'm only like 2 episodes in, so yeah.
Yeah, I was very confused going from like the first episode and then
you see her, and then now she
Yeah, you're like, wait, what?
No, I don't know if I've seen the whole season and I don't recall them saying what she did to get in prison.
When they announce, like when he says, and now we have to move or whatever, and she has this look on her face because she clearly doesn't want to move, like something made her snap. Something happened. And
I feel like I started to watch Upload, Brandon.
Misty and I went through Upload. It's on Amazon. It's a good show too. It's very.
Is it a series?
It's a series.
Okay.
Upload's a series. Yeah, it's like 10 episodes.
It's where they're taking the identity and uploading it, right?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen much of it. If anything, it might just be the conversation that we had.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think it was a recommendation a couple of weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Who's that?
It's got Robbie and Mel in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has some other people, but
yeah.
I think.
So yeah, it's pretty good. Speaking
Greg Daniels.
It's a Greg Daniels. You could say Greg Daniels,
isn't it? He made it.
I don't know. Let's see here.
Someone Office related, I think. Because he was working on it. I remember Brandon and I talking, and he was working on it at the same time that Mike Schur was working on Good Place, unbeknownst to each other that they were working on a similar type.
Speaking of PCs and computer gaming in general, Henry Cavill posted, I think it was on his Instagram, a amazing supercut video of him building an amazing gaming PC. He is on Team AMD. He is Team Red, which is awesome.
Part of the population paid no attention to that computer.
What's that?
Part of the population paid no attention to that computer. They were just very happy to see Henry Cavill.
Yes. They're like, I don't care about the computer. But it is I don't know if there's, let's see here. Yeah, he built, I don't know that there's been a full spec release of what it is, but just based on what you can see in the pictures and stuff like that, yeah, it's a nice rig. But yeah, he did a supercut of him putting it together, and the machine looks physically large. That case is pretty
Not
amazing.
as large as his arms.
He's Superman.
That is also true.
And I'm not even saying that from a hot or not type thing. That was just, those are massive.
I love that he's reading the instructions in the video. Because when you came over to build mine, you're like, yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah. Well, he was putting on a water cooler. Like, so.
Fair.
See, Jetpack says, I bet he plays Overwatch. He's a big WoW player.
Yeah, wow.
He's a big WoW player. So
He was late to something once, wasn't he? He was late to some audition.
He almost missed his Superman audition because he was playing WoW.
He was in the middle of a raid.
Yes.
So he actually does know somewhat about computers then.
Oh yeah, no, he is a hard, because when they were doing the Witcher interview, there's kind of a classic thing where somebody asked him about PlayStation or Xbox, and his very distinct response was PC. Like he's one of us,
Man of the people.
Yes, so
that's cool.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is pretty awesome.
It's about a 5 trade that he's got in the video too.
Yeah, there is Josh. I don't know what he just did to us, but
man, you're not lying. That case is gigantic. Holy cow! And I mean, he's not a small guy, so for it to look big in front of him, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean that's a. Yeah, that is a. I wonder what that is. Actually, I'm very curious as to what that is.
Looked like it had the Corsair logo on it, but maybe not.
It might. I'm gonna watch. I want to watch the video again, see if we can figure out, because I didn't watch it with it. If their audio, I don't know, but he's using a Logitech camera to do it because he didn't take the.
It's just music. Is all he's got on.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Brandon put on there too. He said he does read the Witcher books and he paints minis. There are pictures of him that he's posted of him painting little like Warhammer minis and stuff like that. And so he's definitely one of us for sure.
That is a hobby that interests me a lot, painting minis, because I don't understand what you do it for. Is it for board games, like tabletop games, or is it just collections, or what?
Yeah, like D&D and Warhammer and other games like that. Yeah.
But is it just for the collection side of it?
Well, you use them as like your little Monopoly piece type.
Yeah, it's like your character pieces. So think of it like a chess piece, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure people do end up like collecting them and stuff like that, but I think the original purpose was.
Okay. Yeah. No, like I said, I've seen. I mean, like the Critical Role people have a show that's like on their channel, or maybe it's Geek and Sundry. But either way, that's like how to do that, and it's intriguing because they're so small and so detailed.
So to bring that all the way back around to the beginning of the show, to wrap it up, that show is hosted by Will Friedle, who's the voice of Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond.
There you go. Mic drop.
Nice job. Nice work. That is
100% by accident.
Nothing's by accident on this show. Everything is on purpose. Sure.
Very true.
So, yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I think it's funny that I mentioned a story with Josh, and then Josh showed up with his hard eyes.
Yeah.
How many times have we spoken things into existence? I mean, this is the thing.
Twice an episode.
Yeah, pretty much. So, so we've got, like I said, a lot of gaming stuff coming up. And it's going to be fun. There's so many good games to play. Jetpack, I got your message. Thank you. I'll send a request over. It's pretty awesome. Anything else you guys got over there?
I don't think I have anything.
Okay. Well,
not
a thing. Well, then everybody stay safe. Everybody play more games. Everybody
wear masks.
Wear your masks.
Wear your mask, please. Pretty please.
About everyone else.
It's true.
Although I mean, our audience doesn't have that issue.
Our audience is
good people.
Good people. So,
I think the people that don't wear masks are good people too, but we just have a difference of opinion. Let's leave it at that. Let's not shun anybody.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion. It's just ours are right.
Exactly.
That's the right opinion. There you
exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's allowed to have one. Just doesn't mean you're right.
It's true.
We are.
Sometimes.
No, we are.
Yeah. So, all right, gang. This has been episode.
Of the time, we're right 100% of the time.
60% of the time, we're right.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's like our show. That's right.
45% of the time, it makes 100% sense.
I got to be honest with you, Brick. It smells like straight gasoline.
It does. It does indeed. That has been episode 157 of Gather the Nerds. I am Cav. That's Nick.
See you guys.
Hannah.
Bye, I'm not evil.
Church.
See you guys. Be kind, be safe.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.